Hi, I'm NASA astronaut Michael Barrett, and you're watching Mission X, Ask the Astronaut. And this week's topic is Call the Doctor. What do you do in space when you're sick? And we got a couple of great questions from Maddaleno and Filippo from Italy. Indeed, if you have to call a doctor or an astronaut gets sick, what do you do? Great question. So on every crew on the International Space Station or even the Space Shuttle, we trained 1 or 2 people to be what we call crew medical officers. Now, I happen to be a medical doctor, but most astronauts are engineers and pilots and other specialists and scientists. So we would train somebody to be like what we would call a paramedic, somebody who would go out on an ambulance, and they would be able to take care of medical problems as they came up. And we also have a lot of really smart flight surgeons on the ground that we can call at any time, and they can guide us through what we need to do to take care of a sick astronaut. And if we really need to, we could bring someone home in a hurry. Now, we also have a medical kit on board. Now, the good news about being in space is that most things work just like they do on the ground. I'm putting on the stethoscope, and of course up there it would go ooh, and we'd have to get used to managing things a little bit differently. But everything works quite well. And we've had some minor injuries and some minor accidents, very tiny things, and we've been able to take care of them just fine. Another great question we got is, if an astronaut really becomes sick or hurt and has to come home, can we do that? Well, the International Space Station always has rescue vehicles for all crew members on board, so that if somebody got really sick or really hurt and we couldn't take care of them in space on the space station, then they could actually get in one of those rescue ships and come home. Now, we'd really rather not do that, so we trained somebody to take care of astronauts' medical problems, and we have a medical kit up there which can take care of most medical problems. But if we really have to, we get a lot of people on the ground ready, and including doctors and nurses and everybody we would need to take care of an injured or hurt astronaut, and we will get in that ship and then we'll scream down through the atmosphere and land. Now, when you think about what it means to land from a space station, it means re-entry where you have a lot of G-forces. It means getting in a spacesuit. It means getting in a very tiny area, and in the case of the Soyuz, which is what we use to come back from the space station right now, it's coming down on a parachute and hitting the ground pretty hard. Now, if you're fit and healthy, that's not a problem. But if you're sick, that can be pretty uncomfortable, if you can imagine that. So we really try not to do that, and we've never had to do that, thank goodness. But we can if we need to. And I think that is really important to know, that we can always bring somebody back and have them probably within 24 hours to a hospital. Hello, I'm NASA astronaut Michael Barrett, and if you'd like to ask a question of an astronaut, go to the Mission X website and look for the Ask the Astronaut feature, and we look forward to your questions.